I've been following you on social media. A lot of great memories it seems you have of George. Can you tell me a little bit about him and what your relationship was like with him?
Our relationship was a brotherly relationship. When we first met through our friend Tello, um, I was anticipating meeting him because Tello had told me so much about us looking alike. We both were built alike. He was a little bigger than me, but when I saw him, our first question when we saw each other was like, "Who your daddy? Who your daddy?" You know, that was we looked that much alike, and from that conversation, we just hit it off to a relationship where every time I drove from Port Arthur to Houston, Texas, my first stop was CUNY Homes to see Floyd, to pick Floyd up because Floyd always wanted to be a protector and provider to everybody around him. And our relationship was built off positiveness. It was built off him being a protector to me and me living and him living through me. He was an athlete. He wanted to make it to the pros in football and basketball. He just didn't have the same opportunities that I had. So that's the only different thing. That's the only thing that separated me and Flo was I had more opportunity.
I've heard family and friends say he was. I've been covering the story last couple of days in Houston. We've been out to the Third Ward. People have called him a gentle giant. One of his ex-girlfriends said he was a true gentleman. What was he like as a person? What was it like hanging out with him? It sounds based on your social media. He was a loyal friend, loyal.
Oh my God. I mean, especially coming from being an athlete, you run across so many people that abuse your friendship. They abuse your kindness. They know you have money. They know you have a platform and nice things, and they're around you for the wrong reasons. Anytime Floyd called me for something, it was something he really needed. His mom needed something. He needed clothes. It was never nothing stupid. It was never childish, and he never abused our friendship. He was one person that genuinely supported me. And you can look on this page. I was working on TV, and he made a post say, "Look at my twin doing it big." You know, he was. Nobody was more proud of me than Floyd, and he wasn't afraid to show it, and he was proud to say that we was so-called twins.
I'm curious how you're doing since you were so close to him. What have these last few days been like for you, especially from that first morning when you saw this video?
Angry. I've been angry, man. I've been real angry. Uh, it's just frustrating because I've always, like I said, I get mad, and I remember me and Floyd, the situation like this before with me and him. We seen a homeless man, and we couldn't help him, and it bothered us. Like we could have gave him something, but he wasn't in a position to take what we gave him, so we couldn't help him, and it bothered both of us. That's the type of person he was. He cared about everybody. And me hearing and seeing all this and I can't do nothing, it just destroys me because not only was it my brother, I've seen so many young black men lose their lives and there's never been justice. There's nothing we could do. And I'm scared because I'm gonna go embark on this journey to get justice for my friend. And I've seen so many people come up short and feel hopeless. I know this is impossible, but I've seen the impossible happen. And for my friend, I'm gonna take it there to see impossible happen and get justice.
You mentioned that we've seen, unfortunately, in this country, way too often young black males taken by police officers. We've seen videos that are just as graphic, although I would argue what we saw this week is unlike anything we have seen before. But how does this change for you even more because it was your friend on the concrete. It was your friend who was saying he couldn't breathe. How does it change it?
It hurts, man. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts, man. It's easy for me the way I feel right now to just go on a rampage and just be crazy, but that's not who I am. If anybody look on my page, every post I post, I put love to all who have love for all with all the emojis because I love everybody. And in this moment, when my brother has died and no police is arrested, I'm taking full responsibility for standing up for my brother, for making sure people know who he is and who he was and they don't demean his character. and let people know that rioting and all that stuff is not the way we're gonna get answers. I've never stood for that, and Floyd didn't stand for that. So all the stuff that's going on, yeah, he would have been happy there's people fighting for him, but that's not the right way to do it. And it's gonna make it harder for us to get convictions and get these guys in jail with stuff like this going on, because they're gonna keep overshadowing what actually happened and show the riot and all that stuff on TV. So I'm at a point now, man, where I'm gonna get in the middle of this fight for my brother 10 toes down. I'm going down to Minnesota tomorrow, have a press conference, and just let people know who he was and what he stood for. And we need justice, and we need his kids taken care of, and that's the priorities of mine.
A couple more quick questions for you. I want to touch on Houston in particular. Tomorrow, Houston is set to have its first Black Lives Matter rally at 2 o'clock in the afternoon downtown. They're going to march to City Hall. I hear you talk about protesters and those images we're seeing on TV. This is kind of extremely personal for us here in Houston, because he was one of our own. He grew up here. He was a star athlete here, so it hits especially close to home here in Houston. So we do expect a large crowd out there tomorrow. You touched on it a little bit there, but what is your message to protesters here in Houston as they come out to demand justice tomorrow?
Get your message across, but don't get your message across and then you're waking up in the next morning and it's another two African men dead because y'all decided to riot and the police had a valid reason to kill them. That's hustling. That's called hustling backwards where I'm from. That's hustling backwards. Get your point across, stand strong, stand together, all races. That's what they scared of. The answer is all of us standing together. That is the answer. When we all stand together and they don't have no allies and we all on one side, that's when we get answers. The rioting and stuff is gonna make it harder to get convictions.
I saw you on CNN this morning, so I want to ask you a question. They asked you, when you see that video, and I've heard his family tell me, his brother told me a couple days ago, that's murder. It's murder captured on camera. We're seeing someone's murder. Is that what you see when you see that video?
I see hate. I see enjoyment in his face. I see I'm protected in his face. I see we can do what he want. We can do what we want in his face and not get in trouble. I see murder. I see hate. I see privilege. I see a lot of things in that moment. And for him to just casually put his hand in his pocket. Oh man.
Do you think this video, unfortunately, it had to be your friend, but do you think this is the moment, or you hope this is the moment that changes things?
It's gonna be the moment. This is the moment, and it's gonna be the moment. And George Floyd name will live forever because his name is gonna be the reason we have change. His situation, the way they did him, is the reason we're gonna have change, and his name is gonna live on forever.
Last question for you, Stephen. Could you tell me a little bit about what it was like being with him in Houston? Did y'all hang out a lot every time you were here? Or I don't know if you could give me a sense of, like I said, it's very personal for us here, what he meant to Houston. He seemed like he was a big part of that third ward community.
Oh man, big is the understatement. I mean, my routine and all my friends from Port Arthur routine was the same getting to Houston. As soon as you get in Houston, your first stop is CUNY Homes. You know, my first stop was because that's where all my friends, that's all the people I knew in Houston, they all stayed there. So Floyd was my first destination because one thing I knew about Floyd, when I'm with Floyd, nobody ain't gonna abuse me, nobody's not gonna take advantage of me, and I'm not gonna be out of bounds. Everywhere I'm at with Floyd, I'm in the right places. I'm not nowhere I should be. And Floyd was just that guy, man. And our friendship was deeper because not only did we look alike and we called each other twins, but we treated each other like that. We treated each other like twins. Everything I had, he had. Anything I needed him to do, he'll do it. When he went to jail and his mama needed something, I was there for him. So we treated each other like twin brothers. So our friendship, I haven't talked to him in about a year before he passed. Last time I talked to him was when he got the clothes and he was going on his job interviews and he was sending me pictures of the clothes and he was just excited about the shoes and stuff.
He moved to Minnesota to turn his life around, right? or to get a
Yes,
fresh start?
yes. I remember the call. Big twin, what's going on, twin? I'm like, man, what's up, boy? What you doing? Man, I'm getting ready remember we talked about me relocating. I'm like, yeah, where you going? She said, I'm going to Minnesota. Um, I'm gonna start driving trucks. I'm like, word? I'm like, shit, what you need, bro? I got you. Whatever you need, I got you. He's like, man, I ain't like that, man. I'm going to work, man. But you can send me some clothes. You know, the little money I got, I don't want to spend it on clothes. I want to show up for these jobs and stuff, looking the part. But you know what I'm saying? I need to save my little money, no doubt. Sent him a whole bunch of clothes. He appreciated it more than anything because he was focused on getting this job, making his money, and changing his life. You know what I mean? And that was his only focus, was getting better.
How's his family doing? I heard you talk about his daughters. They got to be devastated.
Yeah, I didn't know his brothers and sisters too well. I don't even think I met his sisters before, you know, because a lot of times when we hooked up in KHOU, we was in the streets. It wasn't his family. Roxy, I know Roxy and his daughter Gigi, and they're not doing well. They're not doing well at all. Roxy finally told Gigi last night, and Gigi is not doing well, and his older daughter's not doing well at all either. Um, it's going to be tough. That's why I said my only three things is for people to know Floyd, to make sure the police and the city of Minneapolis, Minnesota, take care of his two kids. They have to provide for them. Their father's not there no more. Somebody has to take it up, and I'm going to do my part. But the people who took their father need to do their part as well, and I'm focused on that.
Alrighty, Stephen, I really appreciate your time. I hope this is the moment that changes things, because that is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life, and I hope we don't have to see that ever again.
Thanks, my man. I appreciate your
I
time too.
appreciate you. Take care of yourself.
All right, have a good one.